goal of this project is to show and to prove that our understanding of science, physics, and the cosmos must change from top to bottom. I'm speaking about the basic structure of the universe and how it works and how it doesn't work, as presented according to modern and current physics. The theories that are the basis of our science must change from atom on up. Since this, on the face of it, is a preposterous and arrogant and contentious presumption on my part, in my defense, let me prepare you and take you on an incredible journey. About 29 years ago, the scientific community finally agreed with every 10-year-old kid in the world with a brain to think with that it sure looked like Africa and South America fit together. Of course it did. In the face of mounting evidence from the new field of tectonics, as well as evidence from the natural sciences, and evidence from paleontologists and others who investigated the evolution and spread of dinosaurs and plants in the prehistoric past, it did seem logical to think that South America and Africa were once indeed together, that and more. The theory these scientists presented and agreed to is this: that all the land masses on Earth were gathered together on one side of the planet into a giant island that they later named Pangaea. That all this land was on one side of the Earth and the rest of the Earth was covered with water. Sort of like this. Almost 30 years ago, I was so appalled and offended by this theory that at that time I began work on this project. A project that simply hoped to show why this theory was, well, simplistic, premature, and wrong-minded. Actually, I guess I thought it was stupid. There are others smarter than I who also don't believe this out-of-kilter Pangaea theory. Picture this: all the land on one side, a vast ocean 10 miles deep on the other side. The Pacific is unusually large now, more than a third of the world. They clearly stated not that the Pacific was once smaller, but that it was once even bigger. This seemed to me to be an unusually Western, arrogant, American-European point of view. Wouldn't our friends in Japan and China rather think that the Pacific came together and the Atlantic spread, more like this? Either way, it seemed just as preposterous to me, and some others. Continents aren't corks to float about in the ocean. They are attached to the ocean floor. Still, one could hardly deny the physical evidence that speaks and testifies and answers to this. Dinosaurs, such as the Allosaurus and many others, existed on all 7 of the continents at one time, to name one thundering evidence. Yes, Allosaurus was probably semi-aquatic. Not enough to swim the oceans. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Camels in Africa and llamas in South America are the same family of animals. They can, in fact, interbreed, and recently have. Plants in Europe are the same as on the east coast of America and Canada, and on and on. The evidence is monumental, vast, and totally convincing. The clincher is, of course, tectonics, undeniable tectonic matching of tectonic levels. Even I had insisted for years that these landmasses came together in some way. It was this simplistic Pangaea theory that was so preposterously illogical. Now, in fairness, the theory has been modified in recent years, as you will see. So what was the real, true answer? Sherlock Holmes would say, "When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth." The answer was and is that the earth grew, that it continues to grow and always grew, and that this is the way of the universe. To clarify, I said grew, not expand, but grew, added mass and grew. That this is a growth area, that this too is a growth area, this and this is a growth area. Surely we all agree that these are growth areas. They are known as spread areas or rifts by the scientific community. But does that mean that the earth is growing? Yes, in fact it does, as surely as the night follows the day. Preposterous? Well, it gets much, much worse. Because logic is progressive. and ploddingly relentless and unavoidable. Logic says that if the Earth did and does actually grow, now this is a hot potato, if the Earth grew, by unavoidable extension, all planets grow, all meteorites grow, all moons grow, all suns grow, all solar systems grow, all galaxies grow, and finally, all our known universe grows. Therefore, there is no Big Bang. No Big Bang. Nor is there proof of a Big Bang. Even though you think scientists have presented proof to you, there is no definitive proof. Indications, supportive facts, yes, proof. How could there be? No definitive proof. According to this new theory, our universe isn't exploding, it's simply growing. Same observation, same facts, different conclusion. And I have proof. Even more preposterous, you say? I'd say a universe that explodes into being is preposterous. It explodes, it goes back, it explodes, it goes back. Kind of begs the question, doesn't it? The question we want to know the answer to is, where did it come from in the first place? This is not a metaphysical question like, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one to hear it, does it make a sound? Of course it does, but I digress. This new theory declares that if the universe grows, and it does, then that means that matter can be created. By the way, if you're counting, I've just stated the third big physics no-no. Allow me. There are two general and simple theories of the universe's origin. The first, the one we accept, is the Big Bang theory. The Big Bang theory says that all the matter in the universe always existed and always will exist, not one bit more, not one bit less. We currently mostly accept this theory. Don't ask me why. This new creation theory says somehow in the beginning a process began, which created matter. Out of what? We never knew. Well, till now. That this process continued and continued to make more and more matter until we have the universe as it exists today. Up to now, we haven't discovered the process. If this second theory is true, it asks a question, a big question. If it's a process, who flipped the off switch? Or conversely, is this process still going on? If it is, the Earth must be growing. Why must it be growing? How does it grow? The tape merely gives the proof of this growth and shows and explains the process.